Hi Leo, and this is your August 2019 Love Monthly Forecast reading with me. This is Krissy from InTheStars by Krissy.com. This reading goes for all Leos out there, whether it's their sun, moon, and rising sign. But before we start, just to say happy birthday, Leos. It is your season right now, and you're coming in very strongly. So, let's see what's going on. As you can see, I do have a lot of cards with me right now, and this is because I already pre-pick all the clarifying cards which I feel would be needing to be clarified for you guys, because I kind of feel that this could be a reading that could really help you, that could really give insight into the situation that you are in, even at this time. And it might go over from July to August kind of thing, because I kind of feel that a lot of these issues are already been existing for quite some time now. So, yeah. So, the first card that you have with me right now is the Hangman, and the Hangman is a card of isolation. There are some form of doubts and maybe wanting to be alone for quite some time. There is something that is bothering you. There is something that you are wanting to take a look on another perspective as well. It is being challenged though by the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is always about union. It could be family related, but the possibility of this involving a marriage is quite strong, because the Ten of Cups can represent marriage as well. So this could be a Leo woman, or a woman who is vibrating a Leo energy, or it could be a Leo man having problems with a Leo woman, because we do have the Sweetheart card over here. So there is a woman involved with this setup. Sorry. This is really telling me that it could be some form of relationship is having some form of trouble right here, wherein a lot of reflection needs to be done, or a lot of reflection needs to be reevaluated of some kind. And this could be giving you the energy wherein there is a sense of feeling down at some point. And in your foundation card, you have the Two of Cups. So yeah, this is really telling us that this is about a relationship. It could be a very intimate relationship, a relationship that is one-on-one, but it's definitely a love situation, a love relationship that has some form of problems. You do have the card of sorrow right here. So, and by the way, I'm using Gypsy Oracle cards, which I rarely use, but they're definitely good and helpful in doing readings. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that. So anyway, the foundation card, you do have the Two of Cups. So this is about a relationship that is probably very serious, a relationship that involves some form of a promise of some kind. This is why I am inclined to say that maybe it has a relation to a marriage, or maybe a relationship that has a long-standing foundation of some kind, that kind of an element. And the fact that you are having some form of doubt and everything like that makes me believe that there has been some form of problems in this situation. It's either there were problems, or things are not really progressing the way that you envision, the way that you wanted things to be, and such like that. And we are getting a lot of confirmation on this, because in your recent past, you do have the Death card, and we all know that the Death card is really not the most positive card, even though We can say that it is the card of rebirth and transformation. We really cannot disregard the fact that when you have this in your past, any form of change is not really a welcome change, because it is something that makes you feel uneasy. There is something like in your own gut that it makes you feel off. There is something that it's really troubling your mind and soul. Maybe it's something that is making you very much sleepless at night. And we do have here the Four of Spades and the card of conversation. So there could be a problem with communication, negative communication, or there are just some form of conversation that is somehow on its darker end. Like maybe the two of you are going to a path of ending, or have been through a path of ending, or some form of big challenges that gives instability to the relationship. It doesn't have to be a breakup, though it's very apparent on this reading that whoever it is that I am tuning in right now is experiencing some form of pitfalls and mishaps in their relationships. And the core issue that you are dealing with right now is not just mainly about love itself, it's not just the relationship itself, but you're having communication problems, conversation problems. So there is something right there that seems to be out of control of some kind, that kind of a thing. Your crowning energy here is the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands can really make you want to think about certain things on a whole, on another level, I would say. It could be a reflection on your part. It could be that, it has a tendency to be very much defensive. So this could be the energy you are vibrating, the energy you're about to vibrate, and all that. But I kind of feel that, this is making you, whatever situation this could represent, I kind of feel that this might not be very much helpful, because I feel that it is making you defensive on a lot of things. You're not really willing to compromise. You're not willing to compromise and understand things. You just want to take a stand on what you think is right, what you believe is right, those kinds of things. And this could be an element of you're waiting for something. So I'm not sure if you are waiting for some form of disaster to happen in your life, because we do have the Soldier card here and the card of hunting for some form of prey. So I would say that it makes me feel as if you're waiting for some form of war to occur, as if you're anticipating something negative to occur. Or this could be just you, your energy somehow, even though that things are happening the way it is, I kind of feel that your energy is very strong to the point wherein it's quite hard to go near you. So there is that form of tendency, and if it's hard to go near you, it's hard to communicate with you. It's hard to understand you. It's hard to compromise things with you, because you're not really very much open to see other people's perspective on things. So that could be an issue. But it's also a possibility here that you might be, reflecting on your own attitude on things, which may eventually help the situation once you see your own, the actions that you have done in this relationship, how you have reacted, how you acted, and all that. You might be reflecting on those, and maybe you might see what is wrong here and all those things. You do have the Seven of Swords here coming into your near future. So the Seven of Swords in your near future, I would say that this could be quite dangerous in a way, because it's like the negative things that are in your mind is coming in very strongly. Those kind of element. This makes me feel that you are coming to a point wherein you might misjudge something. I would say that to prevent taking actions that are very much impulsive, because you might just do something very stupid. You might conclude on things without really much fact. And, we do have a strong fire energy coming in for August. So yeah. And anything of too much is not always the best of things. Now, this can also be a good scenario wherein, sometimes the only way to break the ice is to come in too fast and too forward. Then, once the problem blows up, then, it opens a pathway and opportunity for things to be resolved, things to pan out, to be talked to. It's easy to resolve things once everything has already fallen into pieces. Now, I don't really recommend that, but sometimes it has its own positive perks like that. But I see this more of a blessing in disguise, really. So, yeah, the only thing that I would want to warn you about is to try not to overdo things, try not to conclude things, try not to do something just to spite someone. That would definitely lead to more problems rather than to solve things. So I would say that being hasty is going to be your own downfall if you go onto this path. Now, what is that represents you? You do have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is a very selfish card. This is that idea wherein, you're really not open to make adjustments for people. And you really just want your own thing. It's that idea wherein you don't want to make an effort for anything. You just want to accept. You just want to keep things for yourself without doing anything or making anything to work out. So I'm not sure if this is some form of ego related or anything like that. But since we do have the Foe card here, a Foe card, and the Seven of Pentacles, I would say that, this kind of habit of yours is not going to serve you well in more than ways than one. This could be an element of frustration. This could be an element wherein, of a person having a lack of trust. It feels like you are not trusting something, but at the same time, you're not really credible to even complain about it, because the other person really can't trust you themselves as well. So you needed to know that for a person to trust you, you have to do something. You have to open yourself up. You needed, there is something that they needed to hold on to for them to trust you as well. So I would say that there is some form of give and take that is going to be very much prominent, that has some form of importance in this situation. And the card that is representing the influence, the other factors involved here, you do have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is a very self-fulfilling card. It's a card of wishes. And it's that element we're in, I would say this could involve a person who comes into your life and it's like a very smug attitude, because I feel that this is representing a man who gives you messages, I guess. Like they seem like they know it all, but they actually don't. It has that energy. So if you are encountering this kind of person, I would say that I do understand why you're not trusting them. But at the same time, what you're doing is not really totally valid as well. So eventually, this will come to a point wherein the two of you will need to meet halfway for things to actually work out, that kind of a situation. And your hopes and fears, you do have the Page of Pentacles. So you do want something to happen in this relationship. It's not as if you want things, and you want things to have some form of growth. You want things to work out in a very efficient way. And some of you guys might just, want to have a new beginning in this relationship. This could be a form of wanting to have a baby as well, or maybe a baby can actually save the relationship, once you get pregnant, it starts a new cycle of life, and maybe all these problems can be solved. I mean, that is just a possibility. Again, this is just a general reading, so it will be hard for me to give out concrete predictions and such. So I do hope you understand that. But the good thing here is, overall, like I mentioned, in your outcome, you do have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is an alliance. So whatever is going on with you in your relationship right now, because I feel that this is, this can be applied whether you're single, in a relationship, or in a marriage. Whatever type of relationship. Whatever you have been through right now, if you're watching this video around July, August onwards, you will see that things are going to get better. If you are having difficulties in your relationship, things are going to be fixed. Things are going to come together again. And things are eventually going to work out. And if you are in a marriage or a family setup, this would mean that, harmony will come back into your life once again. You do have this card being having the faithfulness card as well. So that is a very positive card, along with this card, the Jack of Clubs. We also have here the faultless card. So, but I feel that this could just represent the person that is going to be in your life. I mean, no one is perfect. They could be a bipolar or something, but it does not mean that they're not being true, because the faithfulness card and the Jack of Clubs are actually pretty good card for someone who truly cares for you and is very affectionate of you. They're not perfect, but they do care about you. So it might seem that the current situation right now with a lot of Leos out there is very shady, but you have to work through this. You have to overcome this, and do know that not doing anything is not going to solve anything at all. And if you try to do more shady things, it just gets worse. I mean, eventually you will learn from this. There is going to be something you will learn, but I feel that for many, many of you, you will learn it in a hard way. I mean, there are lessons here, but eventually things are going to fall into place at the right time. It's just that you will learn things in a hard way, I guess. And for some of you, it is by faith that you are going to learn this, that, you know, doing too much, being all over yourself, feeling high and mighty and all that, is not always going to serve you any good and justice at all. So again, I feel that at the end of the day, the real message here and the lesson for you guys is to learn to open up and to learn how to compromise, to have a better resolution to things in terms of your love life and relationships. So yeah, Leo, this is your reading for the month of August. Thank you for watching and tuning in with me. If you're new to my channel, please do like, share, subscribe as well if you haven't, and click on the bell icon to make sure that you get notified whenever I post videos like this. So yeah, thank you everyone, and if you'd like a more personal and detailed reading with me, just check out my website. I do have few services I have right there in the stars by Krissy.com, and I'll see you guys next time.